I trained myself how to think like a rich person. I didn't grow up from a rich family. I had everything I needed and more, but I had to figure out how to think rich. Sara Blakely, the billionaire founder of Spanx, she credits most of her success to her mindset. And she had a mindset coach, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Feel free to check him out. And I learned a ton from him and from her. But you have to think rich. There's Think and Grow Rich, one of the best-selling books on how to make money. There's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. These are amazing books if you're looking for those. But I had to think different. We have hundreds of thousands of dollars and we're gonna be millionaires soon and have multiple millions. And it starts with how you think. So enough of that. How do you think rich? How did I train my brain? The first thing you need to do is believe that you can become rich. You can become rich. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter who your parents are or what your situation is or how much debt you're in or how little money you have. You just have to believe. You have to think that you can. And in Think and Grow Rich, they talk about the man who thinks he can. I can maybe pop this here, but it talks about thinking. And if you think you can, you can. Whether you think you can or whether you think you cannot, you're right. So you better think you can. If you want to get rich, you gotta think you can. If you want to be healthy, you gotta think you can. If you want to be happy, you gotta think you can. If you want to be strong and fit, you gotta think you can. If you want a great marriage and relationship, you have to think you can. I also started learning. I started learning how to think rich. I stopped seeing all the problems or the realities as a current reality, as my future. Right? And so a lot of times if we maybe live in a house or a townhouse or an apartment and we don't really like it or it's small or we don't feel abundant, we can tend to stay stuck in that. Right? That's why it's hard to get out of poverty. It's why it's hard. It's who you're around. It's what you see. You don't feel that energy. You don't see that energy. So you have to start getting around that. I would start driving to different neighborhoods of the houses I actually wanted to live in. I would start surrounding myself with the right mentors to listen to what they thought and what they said instead of what the people around me did, because they weren't necessarily rich. So why am I listening to them on how to get rich? I can listen to them on other things, but maybe not for that. And so be mindful. Let yourself, whenever I was in this environment that I didn't want to be, I would not let myself stay there. I would not settle for that. So I would always be thinking, no, I know I can get rich. I know I can live somewhere else. I know I can and deserve more. You have to think you deserve it. You have to believe that you are worthy of it. The worthiness factor comes too. And then when you can start seeing it, believing it, and feeling you're worthy, you're going to go towards it. And then I started taking that action. I started writing it down and writing down what I wanted. Because when you write it down, it starts becoming true. Have you ever thought of something and then you gave it so much power and attention, or you thought of someone else's past, or you thought about your own past, and you're giving it so much power and control over you? Instead, you want to start putting in what you want, putting that into the universe and starting to say, no, I am rich. I'm going to be rich. And so when you start doing that or start identifying as a rich person, even though you're not there yet, and start doing the right habits and you start acting like a rich person, then you eventually will become it, right? If you think you're wealthy or if you want to be healthy and you start eating healthy foods or you start going to the gym, you're showing yourself and your brain that you're going to be a wealthy person or a healthy person. The other part of this is just desire. You have to want it. I really, really wanted it. I really wanted freedom. I really wanted that peace. I really wanted choice and opportunity. I don't just want money to have money. It's a tool. And so I wanted the money so I have the freedom and the choice and the opportunity to do what I want. And now that we have more money, we are able to do more. I'm able to feel this ease. I'm not walking around feeling all this stress and this pressure and stuff like that. And so it's amazing. And so you just have to desire it. It comes down to some of these basic things, and there's more things you can do to think rich. I have a video, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I can do more on these specific phrases to think about, but I just wanted to share from the heart on some really simple things that you can do, because a lot of times we think that it's for somebody else, or rich people, that isn't going to be me. Or we have a block thinking that rich people are bad and rich people are mean and snobby, even though we know there's a lot of poor people who are the same way, right? It's just what's portrayed on the film screen and in movies and things, and just our own perception. It makes us feel better, like, because we don't have money, like, well, I just love my family. You can love your family and care about your family and have money. It's not like one or the other. You can have both. There's a song, I want love or the money. I want both. And so like you can have both. You can have both. And I want you to think that, believe that, and desire that. Really, a lot of it comes from that thinking, desiring, and believing. And so it doesn't matter where you've started. It doesn't matter if your parents didn't have money. It doesn't matter if you don't have money. It doesn't matter. Rich people are just people, and they learn the habits. They learn how to think. They learn how to master their emotions. They learn what vehicle will get them rich, and they go into it. And I share all of that on my channel because I know a lot of really good people have struggled and they're not living their fullest life because of a lack of money. If you're a generous person and you make $50,000 a year, imagine what you would be if you had $200,000 a year, right? You would get to do more for your family, but then more for other people. And so money doesn't have to be this negative or bad thing. You gotta think you can get it, you gotta believe it, you gotta want it, and then you have to start taking those actions to get there. And so I have lots of videos on getting rid of those money blocks, getting rid of your money trauma, understanding it, understanding your money styles, understanding habits of the rich, the habits that are making me a millionaire, skills, all sorts of things. Feel free to check it out and join the page. I talk about all the things to help you reach your full potential and to be who you want to be in this world. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to struggle so much. You can suffer in the right ways, like at the gym and all of those things, so that you can live a better life and be a more actualized person and version of yourself. Bye guys, you got this.